Yeah.
Now we look center.
Center. Both of you.
And now
Hold
right.
one second. Right way, hold it. Balki say. Yeah. Hold it.
That's how like a machine gun. One second. This is Jen. Justin. Justin.
You go inside. No, you're not scared.
I know everyone's waiting. Just, they're not coming. They're not coming. I couldn't share myself away.
Please go in, sir. I'll see you later. I'll wait
Now
here.
we do one thing. Now, Jen, come this side. Jen, come this side.
Now on your right.
Now your left side, please. And your left side.
All of you look straight.
Just wait 1 second here. Come.
Balki sir right में.
ये आ गया अभी से.
No, we can share this.
Let's go with Balki. The ladies and him. Another one for the ladies.
No, I don't want it. You
Ma'am, why don't you come this side?
Shall look straight.
Now your left side, please.
Thank you so much.
Gauri, तुम section में. Straight. Ready ma'am. Right में. One straight, one more look. Straight. Thank you ma'am.
Thank you.
Straight. Few more. All of you look center. Center. One look straight. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm the novice around. I don't know much.
Somebody will ask something, na?
Can we start? Can you tell us about why you invited, about the IMC, why you invited this party?
Yes, I would love to. First of all, I want to be indebted to you for having chosen us to showcase this wonderful movie, which is to do with women. And IMC Ladies Wing has always been promoting causes for the welfare of women, no matter in which sphere it is. And what can be better than this movie? It has so many myriad, various things which have been showcased in the movie, what I've seen so far. It's just been a wonderful experience. I still have to finish it. Well,
Okay, so only few hours are left for the release. So what's in your mind? Are you nervous, excited?
No, it's too long, yeah, too long a time for the release. I'm not nervous or excited. I want to get over fast.
Okay, but you have watched the movie yesterday. So how was the whole movie? Any reaction?
It's fantastic. I love it. I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of my husband. And I'm very proud of the whole team. And bow to all the women who are appreciating this, the women who are in it, who have inspired it. I think hats off.
Already the starter shop, the movies also are supporting the movie, holding the PadMan. So what do you like to say about the challenge that given us?
It's damn good thing. See, it's not a promotion. It's just thing of saying that hey, there's nothing wrong with the pad. Yeah, don't feel so shy about it. That's all they've all done. And with a cause like this, I think every human being will support it.
Okay. Now also people hesitate to talk about the kids and taboo issues. So
Only problem is everybody else thinks everybody else is hesitant, but they're not hesitant. Because that's the beauty of this subject.
So do you think after this movie they will talk freely about it?
You'll buy a pad for your sister or your...
Sure.
Then it'll work.
सर 80% अभी भी देखें तो इंडिया में सर सैनिटरी पैड के बारे में अवेयर नहीं है इन विलेजेस उसके इस मूवी के बाद में क्या अवेयरनेस बढ़ेगी और
ज़रूर बढ़ेगी एंड ऑल्सो वो हाइजीन के बारे में लोगों को समझ में आएंगे कि हाइजीन क्या होता है व्हाट a cloth is dangerous for health. That is the most important thing for people to understand. Pad is not fashion. Pad is not lifestyle. Pad is hygiene.
सर और राधिका आप्टे और सोना मैम प्रमोशन में काफ़ी कम दिख रही है इसकी कुछ खास रीजन
शूटिंग कर रहे हैं वो लोग
Question to both of you: do you discuss projects with each other while you're beginning it, or I mean, what's
Yeah, what else we'll talk about? Of course, अगर आपके घर में डॉक्टर है तो आप उसका यूज करेंगे ना कि अरे मेरा ये खरोच आया है तो एक फिल्मी घर है तो obviously same.
We were hearing that you're perhaps beginning a film very soon with English.
This is PadMan.
No, but
This is about PadMan.
Is there something on cards?
No comments.
Thank you.
I'd like to say something. All the ladies from my IMC have already done a photo with the pad, and we've been promoting it, and we're extremely proud of it.
So lovely.
I'm really happy that we got this opportunity.
Wow,
Thank you
this
so
is a
much,
great
and we'll
moment.
carry on doing this absolutely without
Fabulous.
any issues. We'll be very
Fabulous.
happy.
Thank you.
Proud to do it.
Welcome to Our Lady's Wing of the Indian
Thank you,
Merchant
thank you so
Chamber.
much.
We are so happy to have you here. I'd like to ask you a few questions which have been passed around from everybody. Everybody wants to know a lot of things, but we'll streamline it to a bit. And do not really worry about answering my questions. Say whatever you feel. The title, PadMan, in a commercial atmosphere where business is very important for a film, and it's really important, and I know how important titles are. How did you think of calling it something? It's a big chance, a big risk. How did you think of calling the film PadMan?
Since people are so hesitant to talk about pads, I just thought that if you title a film called PadMan, at least they'll have to say it 1,000 times. Hey, PadMan's coming, PadMan, PadMan. So they'll use the word a lot of times. But honestly, I think it was the first title that came to my head.
Oh, that's really amazing. The other thing I noticed is you are very sensitized and you're very informed. Yes, I do know a lot of the credit goes to Twinkle Khanna, who's written this, and being a woman, she's written the story, but the way you've taken it forward, the way you've taken situations and little reactions and all the tiny little things about women and presented it from a man's point of view, a macho man, Akshay Khanna's point of view, and you've made him portray Arunachalam Muruganan. Have I said it right?
Arunachalam Muruganan.
Arunachalam Muruganandan. I need to say this name with great respect because this man has really jumped over hurdles to come ahead with whatever he's done. So I want to understand your take on it and how did you think of all those sensitized women situations?
I think a lot of the credit for this particular film goes to the man who's lived this life. That's Arunachalam Muruganandam. He's written the story of his life. This was a film that actually Twinkle just met him once in London and was very curious about doing a film. This was not a book written before the script. In fact, the script and the book were written at the same time, and both didn't have anything to do with each other. So we had two different adaptations of this man's life. But hats off to Twinkle for thinking of making a film on this person. And then we set about writing this film. I think the sensitization comes a lot from two things. One is the very man you're writing about. He has spent an entire life actually worrying about the health of a woman, of women. I mean, how can you be more sensitive than that? I mean, all sensitivity comes from there. So to me, the true writer, the maker, and everything about this film actually goes to Arunachalam Muruganandam. All the credit for this film goes to Arunachalam Muruganandam.
That's very gracious of you, but a lot of the credit comes to you too. Now, as a filmmaker, whenever anyone starts making even the tiniest of films, there is so much temptation from great talent within the industry, be it actors, be it performers, singers, writers, dance directors, and there's such a huge abundance of talent in the industry. At any stage, did you get tempted to make the film a little bit more commercial with those songs and those item numbers and stuff?
You didn't find this commercial?
No, I found it very real. I found it necessarily real, just the way things are. There was nothing commercialized.
I had the biggest commercial element, which is Akshay Kumar.
Yes.
So
Other
I
than
didn't
that.
need to do any commercial thing with it. Because yes, he knew what he was getting into because I make certain kind of films. I have a certain language of making it. And I just believe that this is not a film, but one thing I was very clear about, that this is not a film intended for people who already know about it. This is not a film for people who visit film festivals and speak a certain language. This is a film that is intended to reach people who are not aware, who need to be sensitized, men and women, who need to be aware of such things, and therefore the film had to be done in a certain language. So if you see the emotions of this film, the setting of this film, the characters of this film, yes, they are, in terms of not the slapstick commercial variety or the loud masala variety, but they're still commercial in the sense that they are expressing their emotions loudly. They're not too subtle. They're not this thing. So the language has to reach the people it is intended for.
After watching this film and watching a lot of the promos and stuff, just pre-release, I and a lot of people really understood that this is a special film. We all realized that we're going to watch something which is special, not just being women, just the fact that you took such a big challenge and you made something so different. At any stage, did you feel that you're making something for a purpose and for a cause, or was it a beautiful script?
I always looked at, when Twinkle first expressed, I think first hats off to her for thinking of making a movie, actually even thinking a tale like this, because she's not a filmmaker, she's not a producer. She thought of saying, hey, well, how about making a film on this person? That itself, very few people will do. For me then, writing it along with my writer Swanand Kirkire was a beautiful task, because his life was a thriller. I keep telling Arunachalam, I mean, yours is as thrilling as it gets. Who can lead a life more thrilling than that? So for me, it was like just preserving the, packaging it in such a way, it's a classic love story, presenting it as a love story, writing it in a way that is not exactly the way he did it, but 80% true and 20% fiction for commercial areas, for commercial purposes. So actually when he saw the film yesterday, I mean he saw it the day before yesterday in Delhi. It was so strange. I mean, I'd gone into the theatre a little late and the screening had begun and it was the interval time and I didn't know who was sitting next to me. So there was some little sounds of fish, some tears kind of happening. Always embarrassed to kind of look at the person next to you, and I don't know who it was. So the lights came on the intervals. I was pretending not to notice here, I think, and looking at the screen. Interval came in. Next to me was Radhika Apte. I didn't know that. So she was sitting there and she was saying, oh, thank God I cried. I was controlling, I can cry properly. So it was 4 seats down the road, and I saw Muruganandam. He just got up like that. He didn't know, he was just standing there staring at the screen, and he turned, he didn't know I was there, so I just went there. So he had, I've never seen him crying. I just thought he was a very cool man, and all these things. Had tears in his eyes and just hugged. For me, that was the most special moment throughout the journey of this film, because imagine making a film on the life of a man and getting that person to see it, watching his own life. I don't think there can be a bigger experience for a filmmaker than that. To me, that was truly the biggest moment of this film.
Did Akshay meet him before he portrayed this role?
Yeah, of course. See, Akshay is, we all know Akshay is a great star. We all know he's a good actor. But I think he's a magnificent actor. And I'll tell you why he's a magnificent actor. Most people make a lot of fuss about, theories of acting, schools of acting, intellectualized cinema. He doesn't do anything. That's why he's a lot like Murugan. He just keeps on doing. He doesn't, talk about it, doesn't faff. To me, Akshay's greatest contribution, greatest talent, lies in, when you do a biopic on a person, it's very tempting for an actor to study his body language, to see how he talks, how he walks, how he dresses. He didn't do any of that. He just listened to Murugan. He just listened to what kind of a character he was, what kind of a human being he was, captured the soul of that character, and actually has portrayed Muruganandam in Akshay Kumar's style, but captured the essence of the character. That very few actors can do. Most actors are fantastic at, capturing body languages of people. He didn't do that.
You've answered the question before I asked you, but this is a very south concept. Muruganandam has been from the south, and they do think a lot differently. They're also a lot more educated. In the north of India, these things are really, really very, very taboo. Did you find it very difficult to bridge that gap, making him a North Indian guy? I know Akshay playing the role must have worked a lot, but there's a lot of a difference between the two parts of India.
See, I think somewhere making this film, all of us behave like Muruganandam. We didn't think so much. We just went, Akshay Kumar, okay, he has to be something, which is a nice place. The producer said by Anil Naidu, my producer said Ujjain. We went to Ujjain, it was not so beautiful. So Swaran was from Indore, that territory. So he said, let's go to one other place. So we went to another place, didn't like it. So on the way we had disillusion coming in. There's a place called Maheshwar, let's see that. We saw that, loved it, we sat there, wrote it, and we shot the film there. It's one of those kind of, things. So this North Indian, South Indian thing, I'm a Tamilian myself. But I write my own Hindi scene in a very bad way with a lot of grammatical mistakes. My wife laughs at me a lot of times. But the one thing I answer this question to all people who think somebody belongs to the south or north is actually a lot of India is very similar. A lot of emotions are very similar. A lot of villages are very similar. And I always tell people, imagine Akshay Kumar sitting in Coimbatore, speaking with the panchayat, arguing with the panchayat, arguing with all the grandmothers or grandmothers in Hindi. Would you laugh at it? I said, yeah, correct. All the people who said, why aren't you setting it in South India? All the South Indian, patriots. All those people. So I told them it's a cause which is much bigger than where you're talking, what you're talking.
There again, you're eating up my questions. I can't even ask you. I wanted to ask you exactly this, that making the film, it's a baby, it's a filmmaker's baby. So how much of the cause was, what percent of the cause was as important as the rest of the script and the film? It's coming out a little wrong because you just answered it. But I'd like you to elaborate on that. This is a cause and it's a film that you've made. So how much of that did you feel is what you're going to be happier with the result? What did you want to see better?
So I never calibrated that way because I don't think a film is a message delivering medium. It's an entertainment medium. If people are not engaged, entertained, or touched, or something, it needs to engage them. You don't have to always laugh. Crying sometimes is great entertainment too. So crying, laughing, everything, as long as it engages, I'm fine. Messages have to engage you. Message has to be woven into entertainment. It can't be, I never saw this as a cause film. I just saw it as a really interesting story. Of course you've got to be sensitive because it is something which is a very sensitive topic. And thank God Gauri was with me saying, no, not that, no, don't do that, don't do this. So little touches here, there saying how much you can go, how much you can't go. So I'm very sensitive. I'm very glad that you both are filmmakers and you understood exactly what I can go wrong in. So
that's again wonderful. Now we have a few people who have requested some questions. Bharti, are you here? Madhurita?
My initial reaction was no, because I'm very scared to kind of make a film on a person's life. I've always been, I've never done it. I like manufacturing stories, then I can do what I want. There's nobody to question me. But when you do a thing on a person's life, it's a little thing. So I told Akshay, let me just think about it. But I was really confident, but the only reason which motivated me to even go meet Muruganandam was the fact that there's been no film done on this before in the world anywhere, a commercial mainstream film done like this. So I said, this is a great opportunity. So when I met him, he told me when I just met him, I just fell in love with him because what a mind. He didn't remind me of the cause. His way of thinking is so wonderful. I went to his workshop in Coimbatore. It was this bigger workshop, this thing, he's wearing some khaki pants and white shirt. He's signing blank checks, okay, and leaving it on a table there. He has no accountant, no finance guy. Various suppliers of his come and fill their amounts, take it and go, okay. So I said, sir, aren't you scared? He said, there's no money in the bank. That's all there is in the bank. What they'll take? So he said, it'll take me more money to pay on accountant. They might as well take this stuff. He thinks like that. You know, he's a man, he came to his workshop, he was working with his machines. Then we were going to the airport. He said, I'll come with you. I have to give a lecture to PSG Engineering College. So he got into the car, same pant, same trouser, full of stains on his thing. So I looked at him, sir, should you be wearing black like me? Better enough for you. He said, no, I should be wearing white. He says, what is the point in working in a workshop? People don't know about it. Let them see, the stain. Why do people come in clean clothes after working so hard? What's the point? So his way of thinking is so like on small issues in life. I found that tremendously inspiring. So I'm truly inspired by that man.
Ladies, any other questions?
Remember, we actually had Indian Merchants Chamber Ladies Wing had International Women's Day, and we had ink people talking, and he was one of our guests who came and spoke about it. I never thought a movie would be taken, and the way he spoke English, I don't know if anybody remembers this, and it was exactly like how it is portrayed by you. Fantastic. Because we met him, we had him for International Women's Day, and I never thought a movie could be taken and such a beautiful message could go around. Haji, congratulations. It was not a question, but a great tribute to you.
Ladies? So I'd like to ask you one more thing. This is definitely a different kind. As you mentioned, it's a commercial film with a social message. So is this a kind of a turning point in the kind of movies you're going to make, or is this one-off?
No. The turning point happened in the first film that you make. You never turn after that. You just keep doing whatever I ideas you come by. I mean, if you look at whether I've done Chini Kampa, Samita Kienka, or produced English English Gauri, all the films that we choose, I think both of us kind of have one thing in common, like it needs to be a subject that really makes us feel that we need to spend 2 years behind that particular film. So that's what motivates us to make a film. I don't think it's about a certain kind of cinema that I want to make. I never think I'm making a social message film, ever. Because once you do that, you're really overestimating the power of a film. I don't think you can.
That's absolutely wonderful to know. Now I'd like to invite Vivek on stage. Ladies and a couple of gentlemen who I can see. Vivek is the CEO of Sony Pictures, who's backed the film and who's here with us today. So can I have another mic, please?
Thank you.
Welcome here to the ladies' wing. And it's kind of equaling the balance with the photographers, of you guys, and all of you. So I always say it's very brave when men come into a large proportion of women. When you got this film and you got the subject, okay, it's a great strength to have Akshay and Balki. And you have two people on, it's a safe project anyways, you know, it's like, other than that, what kind of conviction and faith did you have, honestly, to, you know, back a film like this?
You know, what happened was that when we met Akshay, we'd heard about the film. And he spoke to us about this film, and his conviction actually kind of rubbed off onto us. Then he sent us to Balki's office, and we sat there and we read the script. And after we read the script, I don't think there was looking back, because the film actually connected with us in a way that we thought that as Sony Pictures and to associate with, you know, Balki and Akshay to do a film like this, which is so important and can create a huge amount of awareness. At the same time entertain, you know, we were lucky to be to get this opportunity, so we just latched onto it. And I think, you know, the reactions today is kind of proving that that was the right decision. So thanks to Balki and to Akshay for making this happen.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. I'd like to have Gauri Shinde on stage with us. Gauri has come to the ladies' wing, and we are all very fond and familiar with her. And Balki's let out a few secrets that she's been telling him and guiding him about the rights and wrongs. There's another mic. Welcome, Gauri. This is amazing. I mean, there is so much of a woman's point of view. There's just so much of a woman's point of view. I know Balki is very, very aware, and he understands those things too. But thank you for your contribution, which has been a bit. But I'd like to know a little bit more of what you where you steered him a little, where things were going a bit wrong. There's always sensitive things that, you know, a guy cannot handle. Just give us a few things that you felt were very, very necessary.
I'd love to take all the credit for whatever he does, but that's not the truth, unfortunately. And I'm so proud, actually, that it's the men who are sort of heralding this. You know, Akshay, Balki, Vivek, you know, it's amazing that men have come together to do this. And I think sometimes it's nice to take a back seat and watch men do something for women. And we should probably not judge and let them just do. And I think they have it in them to do it. So I think we should let the good men come out and do this. And I think a big clap for all these guys.
Thank you.
Yes, I do have some contribution, and I sense
yeah, that's what we want to know. What are the little tips? What are the little
it's really
pieces of
nothing.
advice?
It's just about, it's very personal, which is something any of us would like, okay, you know, I would feel a little awkward if it went that way. Yes, I'm really open and I can talk about menstruation and pads, which even for me, I'm saying this on a mic, like, you know, it's rare. We don't do that other than with just our girlfriends and stuff. But so if I felt a little awkward about something and I felt this is going, that's all I said, that I'd feel a little like this. So it's just that, nothing else, and I think he had it all already.
I'd like to, from all of us at the ladies' wing, Akshay and Tina are not here, Akshay and Twinkle are not here, but Twinkle has been very keen to know everyone's feedback, and she's really, really excited that we could show the film, and Akshay, I think, just needs the hugest hug. He's really been amazing. I'd like to invite Nayantara back on stage, please, and our cinema committee, so we can wrap up this wonderful afternoon.
Yeah, look straight, all of you.
Tiny token, you're going no.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Just a little token of our appreciation. Thank you so much,
For
and
once
wish
a
you
man
all the
is
best.
bigger than a woman.
For once I can see this man I know so well, get all teary and emotional, which I'm so happy to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just give me a small chance, because I must really thank Vivek Krishnani, to whom we have, he just wanted a platform, and he said, where can I get a platform where all ladies are there to sensitize this issue. And I said, which better than our IMC ladies day? And our president very graciously said yes, and he brought it forward. We are so happy that you men are here.
Thank you.